From the halls of psychiatric wards to lonely nursing homes, what if the things that we dismiss as delusion aren't? What if those who are most vulnerable to the mind's tricks are also the most open to something else? Tonight on Ghosted in West Virginia, we delve into the dark, shared stories of those who work on the front lines of mental health or experience the symptoms themselves. They talk about the terrifying experiences that make them question everything they thought they knew. So sit back, relax, and listen to a nurse tormented by a bossy spirit, a ghost in a client's photograph, and a patient who kept every night seeing a woman weep as she faced the wall. Good evening, obsessors, oppressors, and possessors. It is I, your handsome, humble, completely bearded host, Alec McCann, and with me, as always,
Julia.
I thought this was Patricia.
Not today.
And we are back with another episode, and this time, Julia's done it again. She has clapped for herself.
Always.
So proud.
No one
so
else
proud.
does.
This time, she's done a story on the mentally ill and the things that they see that turn out to be real, which will be fun. It's a different spin on the mental illness, because typically it's not. But here we go. So this first story comes from Ranker.com. It's called Photographic Evidence, and it's posted by Anonymous. No. I am a mental health therapist. One of my schizophrenic clients said he was seeing a girl in his room and he said that she would talk to him. Now, we believed it to be a hallucination, so the doctor that I was with challenged him to take a picture of her so that we could meet her. Big mistake, apparently. Are you on your phone?
Oliver
Wants to know what it is?
Yes.
Well, can't you just tell her it's a song called Soda Pop?
Well, she doesn't know where to find it, apparently. So.
On YouTube. Your mom is a ridiculous person. She doesn't know how to find it.
Well, she thought he wanted the movie.
Oh.
And I said, no, he just wants the songs. So.
Okay. So anyway, during the next visit, he brought a picture, and yes, she was there. To our astonishment and horror, there was a picture of him. What? There was a picture of him on the couch with a strange, creamy, ghost-like... Ew, why you gotta name it creamy? Like, he's on the couch, you gotta use the name creamy? What? That's disgusting.
It is pretty gross.
Anyway, this creamy ghost-like image of a girl hovering behind him, shrouding him in a white-like wings or hair, very light in color. Yeah, we get it. She's creamy. Dude. This dude might be a pervert.
She's almost clear.
This is why he's anonymous, because he knows that he's being a creep. He's gonna be like, she was so creamy. She has some creamy thighs.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. But a subtle, shimmery image behind him. Now, what was eerie was seeing him sitting on the couch with his head down, very depressed looking.
Also, who took the picture?
Maybe a cousin.
Oh.
Just because he's schizophrenic doesn't mean he's alone.
Well, I just assumed he was in a facility already.
We just lost 15% of our people.
No, I assumed he was in a facility, and then I'm like, well, who's taking a picture of him? But I guess he could
It
be
might have
at
been.
home.
I might have been in a facility because he said the doctor I was with. Although, why would you have it?
Maybe, I don't know.
We're looking too deep into it right now.
Yeah, who cares?
Now, what was eerie was sitting. She was literally haunting him. All our jaws hit the floor. Dun-dun. You could hear a pin drop. Dun-dun. Everyone examined the picture, and we could tell it was real. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. Dude was very low functioning and could not have photoshopped it. It got real. We were haunted. The doctor, in utter amazement, knew medication wouldn't treat him and said, I can't help you with this. You're going to need to see the clergy.
However, he does say he's very low functioning. He probably does still need medication.
Yes.
Don't stop taking your meds.
They would immediately be like, he said meds won't help me.
Right.
I'm not crazy. All right, so this one isn't a psych ward. So that first one must have been a psych ward. So you were right. The doctor that he was with. So this one isn't a psych ward, but is still a behavioral mental health thing. It was submitted by...
I don't know.
Oh, je ne sais quoi. It's French. 4. Oh, girl, you best come over here and give me a kiss on that cheek because I gave you the French.
I drew a heart.
She won't kiss me.
Or in public.
Oh my goodness. All those detentions she got in school for PDA really stuck with her. Look at her over there.
All my detentions were for talking.
You wouldn't know it on this show.
And
Now-
telling people rude things that shouldn't be said. I can't even say it on this show. We'll lose listeners. Just know I'm not that person anymore. Or am I?
Okay. So I work nights in the locked unit of our nursing home. I didn't know they had those.
Yeah, some do.
This is where the worst off people in the facility are, dementia, behavioral problems, mental illness, flinging poo. So pretty much I'm locked alone.
Finger painting with the poo.
Flinging it at our roommates' wives. I'm alone. Locked in a long dark hallway. And I have to check in on everyone throughout the night. It's a very large 3-story building. And this wing is an isolated half of the top floor. Wouldn't like that one bit. Nobody likes working back there, especially at night, because the patients are harder to take care of, and it does get spooky back there. I don't know why, but I'm picturing the hospital from Halloween 2. When he's somehow murdered all of the staff in the hospital.
Right.
So being locked in, it has this claustrophobic feeling that creeps you out. It's spooky back there. It's just
I
not.
wouldn't like that aspect.
No.
But I would enjoy a job where I worked alone somewhere.
But it also... it's also something, or when something happens, it's enough to really scare the crap out of you. So here are some of my personal stories. 1, I hear a man shout, "Hey! Come over here!" from the dead end of the hallway. Don't know why you decided to say that phrase. No men on that hall. No men on that hall. No men. No men! And all the patients were asleep. No TVs, no radios, nothing on like that. Now, I found out when I told someone the story that there was a patient who died right before I started that would come out to the hall and call for help just like that. Number 2, I had a patient die. It's a hard thing to go through, but fortunately he was very rude and always telling people what to do back there, just bossing other patients around. They would tell people to speak louder or shut up, etc. My husband, who works in a separate unit of the same building, and I were talking in the hall outside of her room, and our conversation got interrupted by a loud shush that sounded exactly like when she would hush up other residents, and it sounded like she was right next to us. Again, nobody really was in the hall but us and all the patients. What? Oh, but us and all the patients were asleep. Commas, people. They do wonders, because I was like, no one's in the hall but us and the patients. But everybody's asleep. You know what I mean? So number 3, I had a patient that moved into a shared room. She passed away in there. Suddenly, her less than friendly roommate was terrified to sleep in that room. She lived in there alone before, hadn't seen much death, and was probably too far gone dementia-wise to even remember she had a roommate, but was still terrified of that room at night. She refused to go to bed, which was normally hard to get her out of. If you did get her to lay down, she would scream to not turn off the lights. She would spend most of the night trying to get out of the room and stay out. When this was all nuts, because she was someone who liked to be in bed and be left alone. So one night she made it all the way out into the hall, walking without her wheelchair, almost falling over, but determined to get out of that room, struggling the whole way, putting up a fight when we tried to turn her around to go back to her room, and she was out of breath. There was pure fear.
She said, "Not today."
Yeah, there was pure fear in her eyes like I've never seen before. I took her to watch TV, and she slept in the recliner in the TV room with me. Oh, they were cuddled up together. This lasted about a month after her roommate died, and didn't stop until she moved rooms. Our general theory is that her departed roommate was getting revenge. Number 4. This one scares me the most. That is a weird noise he's making.
That was creepy.
Yes. There's something back there that bothers my residents at night. Back in this hall that she's talking about. This crevice. I have a Greek woman who doesn't speak English at the far end of my hall. She does speak it closer to the nurse's station, but not when she's back there.
Trick.
She'll be talking up a storm. No idea what she's saying, but it'll be loud enough to hear all the way down the hall. So when I go to check on her, she stops talking, pretends she's asleep, and then starts back when I walk away. That's hilarious. Nope. Got the bella. Oh, that's fake Italian. That was fake Italian. Capita theta phyla. Philemius.
Brain rot.
Yeah, probably. Man, I hate that stuff so much.
I do too. It's so irritating.
Anyway, when I go to check on her, she stops and pretends to be asleep. Now, this will continue for a while, and eventually she stops and goes to sleep. But a few later, the woman in the room next to her will start talking. And when she stops, they aren't just mumbling, it's a full conversation. Talk, pause, talk again. And no two are talking at the same time. They're all in separate rooms with various levels of dementia, so it's not like they're discussing anything or know what's going on in the other rooms. They always talk about that man. That man was in my room. That man was standing in the corner behind you. That man told me that I'm retiring right now. I'm not going in. There's a man behind me in a corner. No.
And if I'm not old enough to retire, I think that man said I was sick.
Yes. Again, all saying the same thing without knowing that the others are also seeing that man. That one's creepy.
Yeah.
That one's creepy.
You'll love this next person's name.
Can I have some of this?
Yeah, I guess.
It's nice of you to get me one.
Jacob brought it to me. I didn't read it my own.
Janabella. I'm just gonna keep. I had a sip. I had a sip.
I did this one just for the name. Just for you.
It's written by Twiddly Twat. I can't even make that a character because I can't go around saying twiddly
Twat. Oh, I can't even say
Twiddly Twat. It's like a vagina that's just rubbing its fingers together like this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's twiddling its thumbs. It's a twiddly twat. Don't let children listen to this one. It's too late to tell you that now. Now, I work in a big old psychiatric hospital, and one night I was pulled upstairs to work on the detox unit halfway through my shift. Annoying, right? I mean, like, I don't want to start somewhere new. Now, someone on staff has to go room to room and check on the patients every 15 minutes to make sure that they're still breathing and not in distress.
Detox is rough.
I imagine. So, I had just gotten on the unit and wasn't sure offhand which rooms were occupied, so I just walked all of them, looked at every single one. But one room had the bedroom lights off, but the bathroom light was on. And the door was cracked just slightly. So I knocked, gripped the door to open it, and then something yanked on the door and slammed it shut. I heard something banging on the bathroom wall like someone was punching it. I opened the door and no one was in there. One of the techs, who had been there for 20 plus years, said she knows at least one person died in that room a number of years ago. Must have been a cantankerous old fool. Or, I guess, ex-drug addict.
Yeah.
Because that's the rehab, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This next one is Strawberry Syrup. Written with a 3 instead of an E. I guess because you need a letter. Except Twiddly Twat didn't. Now, I used to work in a psychiatric hospital. This sounds like... No, I got a better story.
Right? Let me tell you mine.
I would work on several different floors, wherever they needed extra staffing. So I was sent to work on the kids' floor, and I was unfamiliar with this set of patients. One little boy, 8 years old, needed to be constantly observed during his stay because he was aggressive. It's an 8-year-old. Smack him in the forehead.
You know how strong some of them are?
Smack him in the forehead.
I don't think that's allowed in a psychiatric facility.
No one can see. And no one would believe those crazy people. That's
Except
sort of...
being children, I imagine there's a lot of accountability.
How did he get this bruise? I don't know. It's vaguely hand-shaped, but only vaguely.
Terrible.
Someone's being like, we need to get the children away from him.
Right.
Now, when he's sleeping, this usually just means the staff can pull up a chair and watch him from his doorway. That's creepy. This patient's sheet reported that... Oh, not bed sheet. You don't mention the sheet when you got sleeping going on and think that I'm going to think paper. No. This patient's sheet reported that he has auditory and visual hallucinations. He would wake up throughout the night frequently by sitting up, turning his head from side to side, scanning the room, and then he would look at me and say, "Oh, that was just you." He did this a few times, and I chalked it all up to his psychotic symptoms. Don't know that means the same thing. Does it mean the same thing?
They talked it up to him having psychotic symptoms.
Okay, I got you.
You didn't read.
No, I did read. I didn't know because psychopaths are different than schizophrenics.
Yeah.
So when I hear psychotic, I'm thinking something like that versus.
No. It's just a generalized term.
All right, fair enough. So I chalked it all up to psychotic symptoms, but then I saw a dark shadow whiz around the room, and the patient remained asleep. The next morning, he wakes up, sits at the table on the unit. I tried to start up some small talk and ask him how he slept, and he said tearfully, "Shut up. I'm gonna slap you." And then
You didn't.
no, I was about to have him take out a whole handful of applesauce and slap this nurse silly with it. That's called the Johnny Appleseed slap, you know? It's messy. No, he said, I couldn't sleep because the shadow people wouldn't let me sleep. And then he stared off into space with a flat effect. He said, "Disappointment." And then looked at me and smiled. Awesome. I don't even know. Is he calling the nurse a disappointment like he's her father?
I don't
It's like,
know.
you could have been a doctor, but no.
You're
You
here
had to.
with these children.
Ugh. This one over here is playing with applesauce like he's going to slap somebody. Oh, man. And then he looked at me and smiled, and I was really weirded out by the whole shift, and was telling one of the nurses who regularly works at the hospital, and she said, "Oh, he's sleeping in room number, isn't he? Yeah, that room's haunted. Most kids have trouble sleeping in that room." And then she told me about how the children's floor used to be used as an old electroconvulsive therapy unit back when the technique had just been introduced and wasn't the most humane procedure ever. I don't know what that is. Like,
It still isn't, but it's still used.
is this just electroshock?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But they still use it.
The building was back in the 1940s, and this era is known for inhumane treatment of patients. I'm sure there's like some.
I feel like it shouldn't be allowed to be used. It's still very inhumane.
But does it fix things?
I know one person personally who used to have it done, and it did not.
Okay.
Mostly what would happen is they would throw up during it, but it would be like everywhere because they sedate you when they do it. I guess that's how they figure they're making it more humane. But it still is dangerous because if you're
electrocuting a brain.
yeah,
You're cooking a brain.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So this next one is from Moon Love. And surprisingly, they were apparently detoxing.
Yeah.
They were awake in their bed, sitting up, picking at the tray of food that they had brought her. Now, continuing on from their perspective, as I'm sitting there, just as clear as I've ever seen anything in my life, a girl walked out of one wall, across the room, and out the other. Now, the building was known to be haunted. People have died. I didn't hang around really long enough to find out if the figure was real or not, because I called my mom and made up some story about how they were discharging me, and she came and got me. They closed down 5 years later. Lady died from DTs, and they falsified documents. That's not really part of the ghost story. He just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah. But I think I would call my mom too. Or you, or my dad. Somebody's coming to get me.
There's a ghost in my room. I'm not doing
Yeah.
this. Not alone.
No, thank you.
This next story comes from Yam Chips.
Yummy.
Now, just the other night, a new lady rang her call light and was yelling. We went to the room and she kept saying, "Get her out!" And we thought maybe she had sundowns from dementia. And an hour later, she rang again, and we went in again, and she repeats, "Get her out." So finally, we asked who she was talking about, and she said she keeps seeing a woman laying next to her in bed on the floor. Wait, what? Laying next to her bed on the floor. Now she will get up, walk across the room, face the wall, and cry. No,
Right?
that's a demon. That's a demon that you don't want, or even need to hear about.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next story. No. Now, the patient who originally lived in this room died a week before this new lady arrived. She would frequently throw herself on the floor next to her bed. She also had a mirror on the wall, and she would stand in front of it and cry. That's just scary. Like, not even with a ghost. That's just, if I saw that, I'd be like...
Well, she had schizophrenia.
Yeah, I know. Schizophrenia is a scary disease.
It really is. And not for, like, us. It's scary for them.
Yeah. Well, no, it's still a scary thing for me.
For you?
Yes. It scares me.
I think it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but that doesn't mean that... I mean, it makes me nervous. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough, but I don't know. Anyway, where the ghost was crying is where the lady would be crying. You know that. I told you. This next one is written by Eleonora 7925. If you're wondering why I did that, it's how it's spelled. Like those people that...
I like that face.
A few years ago, I bet they will too. A few years ago, I went to my psychiatrist, whoop whoop, and told him that I kept feeling like something was always watching me, and something was always there.
I feel that way too, but it's a dog.
I told him that I would hear my name being called, and I would always see a black shadow man. Now, I had sleep paralysis a few times, night terrors, that I would have horrible visions during. Not like visions. I was expecting him to tell me it was because of my bipolar. That's actually probably a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I'm more susceptible to seeing and hearing the dead and demons. This is what her doctor told her. He said it was because I'm bipolar, I'm more susceptible to seeing the dead and demons.
There are some doctors
who go for that?
Specifically, yes.
I mean, we do know, we
Yeah.
did tell the story of Richard Gallagher. He was a therapist that goes on different exorcism trips with the clergy. Alright, so I was so confused, and he asked me if I knew where any Catholic churches were, and told me that I needed to get some holy water and say a prayer in each room, bless each corner of the house. I worked with an older woman one time who was always there to tell me there wasn't anything wrong with my brain, I just had a demon in me. To this day, I'm not sure why she would say that.
Could you imagine?
You're not. What about this one? This is the one. Don't get offended. This is the one that I know someone in the audience has heard. Dear, you're not gay. You just have a demon.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's exactly. There ain't nothing. You ain't stupid. You just got a demon.
Just need you a nice little exorcism.
Yeah, you go right back to being smart as a tulip. Now this next one's throwaway. 043. You know what? Screw
There's
the
too many
numbers.
numbers.
You guys
Just
and your
throw
numbers,
away.
man. Throw away 04. Back when I was a very young, my older sister was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Now, one day she was a normal teen. The next, I remember her coming home in hysterics from school. She keeps talking about people coming out to get her. Due to her rapidly deteriorating condition, she dropped out of high school. Her condition was a great strain on our family. I almost said stain. We did not have a history of schizophrenia in our family, from what I know. In the early years, my sister's diagnosis, she would cry uncontrollably because of the things that she would see and hear. My parents were very old-fashioned, superstitious, obviously believed she was possessed, and whatnot. That's bad. It's bad to have dumb parents like that. You don't just jump. Even the Catholic Church is like, maybe she's crazy.
Yeah.
He'll jump straight to possession.
Right.
Now, if she levitates or a bar tries to stab a priest, like it did, what was that story where, was it the Smurls? What story was it where they had to go, they went into the basement, they had these metal rods that threw themselves at the priest? Was it the Moffats?
I can't remember what it was.
Was it might have been the Moffats.
I don't know. I remember, like...
Or Ramsey. Or not Ramsey. Theriol might have been him.
Maybe it was that one.
Because something happened in the basement and to a priest.
I can't remember. Like, I remember the story, but I can't remember which one it was. We've done so many.
I know, we really have. This is quite a collection of stories we've got. Now, my sister was put through a battery of holistic medicine and rituals before my mom finally admitted that it was a mental disease. And from then on, my sister was heavily medicated. The next 20 years or so were terrible, as our family was torn apart by how to deal with her. She would still have outbursts, and everyone wanted to admit her to an institution, but my mother was the only one against it, despite being the one who took most of the brunt of my sister's outbursts. I guess you can call it an unconditional love from a mother to a child. Even in my mom's late 70s, she was taking care of my sister, who was approaching her late 30s. Early last year, my mom passed away from cancer. Even as she passed, she was worried about leaving my sister behind because she knows no one will take care of her like she did. Ever since my mom left us, my sister says that she sees her every night sitting in her room watching her and talking to her. Now, I don't know what to make of this. The following days and weeks after my mom passed, I'm sure that's being picked up as you're across the paper.
It's my sound effects.
I don't know what to make of this, but the following days and weeks after my mom passed, almost all of us in the family experienced things that pointed to my mom's presence. But that's since stopped, except for my sister saying she sees my mom every night. I've always been fascinated about the possibility of the schizophrenic people see and hear things beyond the average person, and we mislabel them as crazy. And what's happening with my sister further piques my curiosity that maybe, in fact, my sister is really still seeing my mom. It's a nice thought. Serious Technician 91 replied, sees a lot more paranormal things when super depressed.
Yeah, that's all they had to say about it. And I was like, huh, all right.
There you go. Hot Mess Mama 0307, is this you because you're hot?
That's me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in public.
See what I gotta deal with? Public. You guys won't even be here later tonight, and she'll still tell us we're in public because I've got Scooby-Doo on the TV for Oliver. I had a medical condition that I allowed to get out of control, and I became addicted to pain pills. In the height of it, my whole life felt so dark. I had nightmares about demons attacking me, sleep paralysis, something I never endured or have since I have been clean. Mental health conditions, possession, paranormal, and severe medical conditions are all somehow connected. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Because oftentimes, if you're taking medication, I don't know how many times we've heard people are taking medications and they're like, hey, I don't see these things anymore.
Yeah.
But the things that they aren't seeing anymore are things other people who aren't diagnosed with anything are seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I am sleep deprived, I will almost always see a shadow figure out of the side eye. I guess that's now.
I
Currently.
believe so.
This person said this person called the Silent. Humans in extreme emotion are susceptible to possession and getting influenced by demons. Some will just get weaker by these emotions, which makes you a target. And then Mission Equivalent 851 said, I have experienced psychosis multiple times.
Calm down.
Woo. But it all turned out to be a supernatural entity that was communicating with me by making me live through these experiences. So sometimes I can look like a mental health issue, or it can look like a mental health issue, but it's actually paranormal.
I think they're still
Give
in
us
psychosis.
give us a second. What on earth? What was that nonsense? How is that not just immediate? I think you're going through it again, man. As you type this, you're going through it. All right, we're back. So sorry about that. So
Phew.
the next one is from Basic Spook.
Back to a worker.
Back to a worker.
We can believe
We're
something
gonna
better.
snap back to reality here. I work at a psychiatric hospital, and I've always believed that that particular population is most susceptible to demonic oppression or possession, and I could see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Although, would they know?
Who the
people?
patient?
Yeah, the patient. Like, it's probably their reality right there.
Yeah.
That's
I
their
was gonna say
reality.
it probably depends on what they're diagnosed with, because some people, like the schizophrenic people, they probably have no idea because that's what they're living already. They're already seeing and hearing things.
So today, a visibly psychotic patient looked at me and said, "Demons aren't always a bad thing." Meanwhile, minutes before, I was just thinking about how many patients I have encountered that may actually be possessed. That I get. That kind of thought process, I get.
Yeah.
Not this, I experienced psychosis multiple times. Dude, that's not how you...
Right.
That's not how you establish credibility.
No.
That's like the worst. That's like a criminal saying, "Your Honor, of course I did these crimes, but I
let me
never
tell you
did
why."
this. I never did
Right.
this." Sometimes when you commit a crime, you're not actually committing a crime. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, so the next story is from The Info Must Flow. Nice, okay. Alliteration, I like it. That's not what alliteration is. I'm dumb.
But if I was thinking something and then a patient came up to me and had something to say
About
compared
what
to
I was
thinking, no.
What I was thinking, yeah.
You need to just go home. You don't need to be here.
Yeah. We'll get
Come
you.
on,
We'll
let's
get
go,
you.
Let's
here.
go to church.
This is called New King James. This is for you.
Right. Please read it.
When I was an undergrad, I had a part-time job as a counselor at a halfway facility meant to help mental patients reintegrate into society. Now, one of the patients, there should be more like that.
Yeah. This is sad. I didn't even know those existed.
Exactly.
I knew there were ones to help addicts.
And prisoners.
Get back into society, but I never knew there were any for mental illness at all.
So one of the patients was a woman who heard destructive voices and was attempting to regain sanity so she could rejoin her children. That's sad.
I know.
She seemed pretty sane most of the time, if understandably depressed. Now, when I asked, other staff said that there was something weird about her, or more weird than hearing disembodied voices. And when I asked for details, they'd be pretty vague and evasive. Which I'd be like, no.
Right?
We sleep here with these people. I don't know if halfway houses do that, but...
I think so. I think somebody...
We're here with these people. You need to tell me what's going on.
Yeah, I think they have staff there 24/7.
So one day, I was in her room with the door open. To avoid any accusations of sexual harassment that certain patients often made, probably a little truthful. They're in a position of vulnerability and people are gross.
Yeah.
But the door slammed violently shut with nobody near it, nor any wind outside. Now, it slammed so hard that a vase on the nearby dresser fell and broke. I walked over, opened the door, looking for a reason, and called over another staff member who had heard the slam and was looking over from a few doors away. The patient, who was sitting against the wall in the chair in her room, said loudly, "He's with another woman, idiot!" And the staff female staff member who was a few paces away around a corner went white and stopped, looking very uneasy. I found out that the female staff member who was not visible from where the patient was sitting was thinking about her boyfriend at that moment and why he had made an excuse to not see her at lunch, right when the patient had loudly said that he was with another woman. You idiot. Now, that the door slamming by itself made me and the staff member rethink a whole lot. I even broached exorcism with the head psychiatrist in a half-serious way, and was surprised when he admitted that he wished it was more accepted to try with some patients. He explained that although he was sure it was silly medieval measures, that maybe it could help with some of the patients who believed in such mumbo-jumbo. Several staff members had some similar, rare paranormal stories about a few of the patients, usually the ones with schizophrenia who heard voices. Over the years, I've read some accounts by a few psychiatrists who had experienced the same link with seemingly disembodied intelligence bothering patients. That last sentence, I think I zoned out. I don't know what I was saying.
I don't know, because I lost my train of thought with how it was said.
Yeah. You guys are getting the best stories. How long is this episode so far? Only 39 minutes? Man. Because we had 4 minutes on top of that we were recording. Alright, so this next story, we got two more stories. So this next one, 3 more stories, sorry. This next one is written by
I don't know.
Clicks94. My grandma had Alzheimer's and auditory hallucinations, and I'm positive she had clinical issues. And even more positive that she was more prone to influence from otherworldly beings. Here we go. We got it. We're back. Psychosis several times. Now, one day she was talking to herself, which she did most of the time, in her bedroom with the door closed. Now, I stopped by the door to hear what she was saying in a way that made my shadow wasn't being cast in the door.
This one kind of reminds me of Deborah Logan.
In a way that made sure my shadow, wish you hadn't said that, wasn't being cast in the door. She couldn't know I was there. I was there for maybe 30 seconds when she started saying, "Yeah, I know." What do you mean? Be careful. At the door? There's someone listening to us?
Nope, I gotta leave the whole house now.
I bolted out of there ASAP. But what made me really believe was one day in which I woke up. It was a Monday.
I don't know if that has to do with anything.
At that specific time, I had just dropped out of college and was not working either. It was the first time in my life which I had nothing to do, and I was obviously stressed out, feeling like a crap person with no goals. Been there, dude. And I want to tell you one thing. My mom hated that I liked this line so much from Dodgeball, but there was a line from the Average Joe guy when he says, I find that if you have a goal, or if you never set a goal, you'll never be disappointed when you don't reach it.
Terrible.
It's a terrible way to live. You need that goal. But this is the first time they've lived without having a goal. The moment I got out of my bed, my gran said, within ear reach from me to her caretaker, "You see what time he wakes up on Monday? What a loser. He'll never amount to anything." Oh, Gran!
Oh, Gran is me.
Gran! That hurts. Oh, man. Instantly, I said, "How does she know it's a Monday?"
That's all they're worried about.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Monday? Not that I'm a loser or anything.
My grandma was at a phase of the disease in which she didn't know the days of the week, hours of the day, or anything, really. She would wake up in the middle of the night, go make coffee, because in her head it was morning already, and not even the lack of sunlight could convince her otherwise. Now, I don't know if I'm explaining myself enough, but there was no way of her knowing which day of the week it was. She was this way for months already. Just barely a person. Brain full of mush.
Bless me.
She was a koala bear. Because their brains are smooth. They shoot. Listen, the whole time out. Do you know how koala bears die?
How?
They don't die of old age. They die of starvation because they wear their teeth down.
Aww.
On leaves that no one in Australia, none of the other animals in Australia can eat eucalyptus leaves because they're poisonous, but the koala bear do. And they call them drop bears because they fall out of trees onto people.
That's terrible. Poor babies.
Yeah. You got me some kind of dumb person to only eat exactly the type of leaf that's going to wear your teeth down and you can't eat no more.
Right?
Oh, anyway.
Poor things.
Grandma. Now, I don't know if she was this way for months, and it was also very weird for her to understand that I was unemployed and out of college, because most of the day she wouldn't even recognize me as her grandson. That had nothing to do with her disease, dude. It had everything to do with your life choices. Clearly, she thinks you're a loser. She's not claiming you as her grandson because she's like, that ain't no blood of mine. Ugh, stagnant blood in that body. Now, how could she even know I was out of a routine? It just doesn't make sense. And she knew how to make the exact comment that would destroy me in the precise day in which I was feeling the worst because of my situation.
You should have had a job then.
Yeah, you should have tried harder. So I started paying attention to the stuff she would say to her caretaker and to my mom and to my brother. It was so specific to things that could get to them. And again, she couldn't possibly know these specific things given her condition. That's when I knew there was something with her that was thriving and making us feel hate towards her. It fed on it. I talked to everybody in the house, and when I mentioned it, they all agreed. The end. Grandma's a butthole. This next story is from Lady Fox _9. Is this you? Because you're a Lady Fox?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look at the cat I drew reading a book.
Oh. That's quite good. Quite good.
You don't like it?
My family was raised in a Pentecostal Christian church. We were no strangers to things like demonic oppression or possession or spiritual warfare. It was one of the main things we talked about at home and at church. That's terrible converse. I guess we do the same. We don't talk about demon possessions in church, though. We save that for at home, where the demons really are. Now, we were never allowed to watch horror movies, listen to secular music, play Pokemon, or D&D, because it could let demons in. I'll give you D&D, but I ain't giving you Pokemon. My mom let me play that, and I couldn't watch Harry Potter until she did. So, I ain't giving you Pokemon. And let me tell you, I was raised on grunge music and System of a Down. You can't get much more secular than that. Now, here we go. And I'm still a vision. Still a vision. Look how healthy I am. Ain't no demons in me. These people's parents are wrong. But when I was 8, my sister was 20. What? What? You shouldn't be drawing that.
Why?
We don't need no Eye of Sauron.
It's not. It's a cat.
What's with you and cats today? Those are not cats. Those are evil goat eyes, man.
They're for you.
Thank you.
They're gonna watch you.
Anyway, how do you get that big of an age gap? How is Mama still able to produce after 20 years?
Maybe only Dad.
Not in a Pentecostal Christian church. Not where they handle. Them's the people that handle the snakes.
Did you hear what the preacher this morning was talking about, the rattlesnakes? Oliver looked at me real serious and he said, what's he talking about? I said, I'll tell you later. We'll talk about it later.
What's he talking about?
I think he got scared.
He said,
Dang,
I can't be putting no rattlesnakes up in the building now.
Granny told me to stay away from him.
Now, she was diagnosed as schizoaffective. She had auditory and visual hallucinations as well as delusions, my 20-year-old sister, and I was 8.
Can you imagine how scary that would be for an 8-year-old?
I can imagine how scary it would be to be a 20-year-old seeing an 8-year-old and going, oh my goodness, they had a demon. That little crotch goblin ain't grown since I've seen her. When I was 8 and she was 20, she had a mental break. What did you do? Did you borrow her scarf? She had enough. Now, when she was manic, she would frequently say that she was one of God's favorites and that she alone had the power of an entire army. That's not good language. When she was at a depressive low, she was tormented by hearing and seeing demons, and it traumatized me. My parents never explained schizophrenia to me, so as an 8-year-old, I truly believed everything she was saying was real. Lo and behold, when she got on medication, the demons stopped coming to visit. God stopped telling her she was his favorite. I'm now 22 and currently in treatment for PTSD from this man.
Right? She must have been.
Woo!
Wow.
She must have been like, do you hear the demons? Do you? Snatching that little 8-year-old. No, I'm sorry, Sandra. I don't see him. Now, all this being said, I do believe in the supernatural and the paranormal. I do think there's more of what we see here on Earth. But mental illness meeting the paranormal is where it gets dicey. I have a friend who put it to me like this: medical before magic. While I believe in the paranormal, if someone comes to me and says they are hearing a voice or seeing demons, I'm taking you to get evaluated. When they get a clean bill of health, then we'll call the police. The police. They're going to get you up and arrested. Don't you come back around here. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you're not my problem anymore. Woo, woo. Alright, so this last story is by Branded Moon. I am a registered nurse, and I took care of a very violent patient who was diagnosed with psychosis. Now, he was placed in a 4-point soft restraints, and he was a one-on-one meeting. Meaning staff had to be near him at all times. That's not what a one-on-one sounds like to me, but okay. Well, one day I relieved the healthcare worker that was sitting with him right in front of him, and he had questions. One, why didn't you at least wait until I was asleep? Come on, give me that joke. That was a good one. That's a terrible way to say something. What are you doing? Baby, we're almost done. Is that what I think it is?
It's a little bug.
Oh. Okay.
What do you think it was?
Little bug. From him?
A maxi bug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Well, I don't know, maybe. Probably.
Oh. Well, good. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So one day I relieved the healthcare worker that was sitting with him, and when I walked into the room, I immediately sensed a demonic presence, and this man had a look on his face of pure hatred towards me. I mean, just anger. It was so spooky. I couldn't make eye contact with him. That's how bad it was. I could not look at him. What are you doing?
Nothing.
I thought you were getting ready to elbow me in the nose.
No.
You're getting off screen again there. Yeah, get in there. You're so pretty. Get in there. Come here.
Oh, I'm stuck to the chair. And I'm hungry, man.
Well, we're almost done. This is the last story. Ooh, you're sweaty back there, girl. How you doing? Ooh. Anyway. The room was cold and very unsettling. Had a very unsettling feel to it. I remember sitting next to him, and I started praying to Jesus, help him. I was praying in my mind, not out loud, and he suddenly got agitated and screamed, "Stop doing that! I hate you! Stop!" He said this over and over again. Stop doing that. I hate you. Stop. After the incident, he spent a couple of days on our unit, and he would, to the tune of gospel songs.
He would sing.
Oh, he would sing the tune of gospel songs, but he would make up his own lyrics that were very insulting to God. He would also hiss like a cat at people. With this in mind, I think the majority of mental illnesses are just that, mental illness. I think some people have illnesses from demonic influences and oppression. However, in this case, I believe this was just a full-on possession. And with that, we are done. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure being with you. We understand that it's been a bit difficult with Spotify and all that, but we are trying. And I'm getting better. That's why we're recording this right now, so I have time. That being said, please check out our YouTube and our Facebook and other social media outlets. We have someone doing those for us. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And please remember, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
Ha! You guys really thought I was going to say bye. Come on. You know what you got to do? You need to lock your doors. You need to salt your windows. You need to put holy water at your foot of your bed, because Salty Garlic's out here. She is looking for the toes to suck off. She is a fiend. She used to pay money for pictures.
She's hungry.
She's a hungry hippo.
Hungry hippo.
Bye. Bye. Look at little Franklin watching his puppy videos. But you don't have to watch puppy videos. You can watch Ghosted in West Virginia and join our channel. And if you think about it, you could also go over to Ghosted in West Virginia Facebook page and share and subscribe there as well. Of course, if you don't, you're a loser.